Hi, I'm Casey.
I'm Stacy.
And I'm Tam.
And we are the Shindellas. And you're hanging out with grownfolksmusic.com.
grownfolksmusic.com.
Shindellas, thank you so much. Welcome to grownfolksmusic.com.
Thank you.
Welcome back. It's a pleasure to have you back. It's been a while since we talked to you and a lot has happened.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
We now have the album. Yay!
Yay!
It's our debut.
Yes.
Debut album. Hits that stick like grits.
Yes.
I know Chuck and Claude are the masterminds behind things, but did you have any opportunity for input, creative input, other than your vocals, of course? And if so, in what way did you have input?
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
We were so blessed because all of these songs, though they were written and produced by Claude and Chuck, they were based on
Conversations that we had together here at the workshop, just talking about life, talking about intention, talking about what we wanted to hear in our music. We wanted to be the change that we wanted to see in music. And so a lot of those songs that you hear, we'll hear on our album are based around that.
The intention.
And literally there would be times where they'd come to us and be like, oh, here is this bridge. And we're like, it's beautiful. Obviously it's amazing if Claude and Chuck wrote it. But we're at this place now. It's 2020 has happened. George Floyd has happened. And what we want to say is different. It needs to be stronger. It needs to be more aggressive. That's what happened with Fear Has No Place. There were some rewrites just based on where we were. Yeah.
Talk about 2020 and just the year that it was, but the effect that it had. You mentioned a little bit how your song changed, but the effect that it had on you creatively, and also did it hold up the album, or were other songs inspired by just the year that was 2020?
Yeah, absolutely.
Such a big year for us. It definitely changed our plans. We were planning on touring and traveling and really getting our name out there with our live performance. We were looking for a band, and all of that was halted with COVID and the pandemic. And then we quarantined separately for a while because we were just unsure of what it really was. And then we got back together, and the three of us really had to go inward and talk about truly what we wanted, where we saw ourselves with all the changes. How did that really affect us? And that all went into the music. We did a boot camp. We started to write together and spent a lot of time together. I mean, working out, meditating, yoga, and anything to just bring us inward and ground us. And that all is a reflection in our music. So Fear was necessary because at the time, there was so many uncertainties, there's so many things going on, and we just weren't sure of our futures, especially in music. So much changed. So fear was something that we were telling each other.
It was our mantra at the time.
Fear has no place in my heart.
Fear has no place in my heart. We would tell each other, and then we were like, you know what, this needs to be something that the world hears, that so many people could use this right now. Let's put it out. Let's go with this one first.
Let's go.
Yeah, we led that. And once we sang that and got through actually singing that and believing it and being that, which was a challenge in itself, I think the guys saw
what was possible.
We saw what was possible. It opened up all these doors and
everybody
opportunities
expanded.
musically.
Yeah, we opened up vocally on that song too, and you can hear it. You can hear the joy, you can hear the hope, you can hear the growth, you hear all of it. And I think with that particular song, it was like, I say it's like our collective, like a sigh of relief. But with that, it opened so many different doors for us. So
Talk about, speaking of affirmations, sung affirmations, Lullaby is certainly a affirmation to sing. Talk about that, where it came from.
Wait, you've heard the whole album, have you?
Yes.
Oh my goodness! So you already know. Okay.
So the hits are sticking?
Are they singing? They're singing. All right. That's all we need to know. We can end the interview right now.
Yeah,
Lullaby, my favorite song on the album. I mean, they're all my favorite. It rotates, but Lullaby is for me that one. The first time I heard Lullaby, I was actually here recording vocals for something else, and Claude and Chuck were just started playing and singing in this thing. There weren't even fully words yet. He just knew it was, here's a lullaby, and I was like, it sounds like Rodgers and Hammerstein.
Yeah.
I'm in. And then remember when we all went in and sang it together?
Yeah. Oh my God.
It was so hard to get through. When you get to I am what God made, beautiful and brave.
Yes.
We were all just looking at each other like
misty-eyed, just
yes. I
Oh
think
my gosh.
we definitely want to have music that is diverse and shows the diversity of all of our talents, but also that feeds the soul and feeds everyone who hears it, not only just our voices, but the messaging is so key. And it's truly like throughout all the songs, the guys call it deep fried veggies. It sounds good, but it's good for you.
It's
You
good
know what I
for
mean?
you.
it's mantra music.
Yeah. And Lullaby is one of those songs that I mean, children for generations to come, I just feel like it's going to be like a hymn, like one of those ones that moms like put on right before bed and put on right in the morning. Like it's one of those songs. And so it's so inspiring to know that we're a part of that.
You talked about the diversity of your talents, your individual talents on each song. How do you decide who and when and who will sing lead?
That's a good question.
I mean, it's a mixture of I think Claude and Chuck having an idea, and also kind of the vibe of the song. I feel like if
we also, first of all, we all bring something different to the table.
Yeah,
let's
we
go
all
there.
have-
Like, let's talk about like our different backgrounds. Like
Yeah.
I grew up in the church, gospel all day long. So that's kind of like what I bring to the table where it concerns us recording collectively. And then you have Stace.
I grew up with Jamaican parents. Both are from Jamaica, Kingston and Mandeville, Jamaica. And we listen to world music and soca music, reggae. And I think that's a huge influence in our music and what I bring.
Yeah. And I grew up with musical theater, with a little bit of jazz and a lot of alternative soul, like 70s protest music. So oftentimes when we're trying to get more of like a character, a theatrical thing out of something, when we're in the booth, Claude will just be like, Casey, just go off, like go there. And then it'll be like, okay, match that. Or when we're trying to get more grit or more edge, it'll be like, Stacy, do the line how you would do it. And then it's like, okay, match that. Or when we're trying to get more warmth and more open, more soul, it'll be like, Tam, what would you use? There's a smooth, you know what I mean? And then we try to match that. So it's really fun because there are songs specifically, like Paradise has that very theatrical feel. So it just made sense for me to start the song.
And then posters, like Claude actually, he actually said this, he was like, all of the songs, like they highlight things about you guys. And I know he mentioned for me, he was like, you're more like posters. Casey's more like money. Stacy's more like when you're lonely, Volcano Love. And I think that makes so much sense. And when people hear the songs, they'll see exactly what he's talking about. But yeah.
Thank you for mentioning theatrics. You know, throughout R&B, throughout the decades, but particularly I think in the 80s and the 90s, maybe that's because that's most of the R&B that I was listening to. There's always a moment in the song and the breakdown or whatever where there's someone speaking, when there's like a spoken word part. And you ladies seem to be bringing that back. Hey, Casey, is that you doing the talking and all
It's a lot of it. I was like 95% of this. But there's some Stace and there's some Tam too.
Just a little bit, but it's mostly Jones.
But that's like, you know, and at first, I'll be honest, I was like, you want me to talk? Like, I felt like,
but I'm a
singer. Like, and then now, especially now that the album's done and I hear how it all comes together, I'm like, oh my gosh, lean in. Because when we get in there too, it's fun because unlike when you're vocalizing, the way you're being vocal produced is different because it's me just improvising and just monologuing and doing character work, which I have a degree in musical theater. So for me, it's so fun.
And it's cool hearing people say it back too.
Yeah, like when we're at shows, I mean, it's so fun.
Yeah.
Not these three again.
Yeah, that's my favorite. Yeah.
Boyz II Men did a lot of talking in the beginning, and their beginning albums were the breakdown, and Mike would do the talking, and that's what that reminds me of.
Yeah, I love that.
We have a saying around here, own your grown. Which song from the new album do you think would be the first, you would play first on Own Your Grown playlist?
Oh, I would have to be Volcano Love. Yes.
Yeah. Volcano Love.
It would have to be Volcano
think.
Love. Because I mean, Lord have mercy.
Yeah. On the album.
Yeah, it's grown folks music.
It's grown folks.
Volcano Love is grown.
It is so
I had to
grown.
be like, I'm a grown woman. Well, my dad was like, because all of our parents' favorite songs.
Exactly, which is crazy because I was bracing myself. I was like, oh my gosh, my mom is gonna hear this song. And why was it her favorite song
She was like,
on the album? I was like, okay, well, here we are.
Yeah. I'm gonna say my mother-in-law was like, you two did the duet at the end.
That's so funny.
Why did you decide to do Volcano Love? Because I know Louis Short done Volcano Love. And why did you decide to reimagine Volcano?
Well, we kept begging them to do it live, and they kept refusing to do it in their live show because I mean they have so many beautiful,
Amazing
so many songs.
Yeah.
So one night we were just jokingly like, we're gonna do it, and started singing it. It was before Franklin Theater Show, right?
Mhm.
And we started singing it, and
It was like a light bulb went off.
Chuck started playing it, and it just it went.
It went,
And then Guru walked in and was like, y'all should record that. Right?
Yeah, it's like we needed to touch on that element of womanhood.
Mhm.
We had yet to touch on it, and so it just made sense in that moment to be like, all right, so this is us stepping into our true selves, our grown and sexy selves.
Let me take that song.
Yeah.
Give me that song.
Give me that song. My gosh.
When we talked last time, you had an opportunity to sing at Essence Fest, and that was like a really big stage for you. Earlier this year, you had a chance to perform on the CMT Music Awards as supporting vocalist. Talk about being on that stage.
It was so much fun. It was a lot of fun. Oh my gosh. The production itself was just crazy.
Yeah.
There were confetti cannons and pyro and lots of rehearsals, 1,000 COVID tests. It was a lot of fun.
It was so much fun.
The band was fun. Like there was an all-female band. That was great. We met a lot of wonderful women out of Nashville.
There was pyro.
Yeah, and to find out we were the first female R&B group to open the CMTs
It was kind of crazy.
Kind of crazy because we didn't even know we were making history in that moment, but to know that part of it and to know that we had like opened up a whole new world for ourselves was just amazing.
Yeah.
Speaking of opening a whole new world, what's your opinion about, is it time for Black artists in country music now? Is there an open door for that?
Yes,
absolutely.
Because there have always been Black artists in country music.
Yes.
They just haven't been amplified, right? So yes, it's time for those voices to be heard.
And we know so many great ones.
Yes.
Like Nikki Guyton.
Yeah.
I know
Jimmy
Kay,
Allen.
Kay Michelle's working on one.
Yeah.
Kurt Chambers is unbelievable.
He's just
listing. I'm just throwing them out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I'm really excited about the future of country music and how it's looking so diverse right now. It's amazing.
There's a young man named Breland, I know, who
I was gonna name him too.
Doing big things in country music too. Since the album is called Hits That Stick Like Grits, and since grits have been trending on social media, I have to ask, are you team sugar or team butter?
We're split, man.
We're split.
We are a house divided.
I eat anything, so I'll eat it with sugar or with,
I'll eat it with
butter.
sugar.
But I like both.
I like
feel
them
like-
both ways.
like
but
Salt.
I don't know, because I like a savory grit in the
Yes.
evening.
I love a shrimp and grit.
Yeah.
I like a little sugar with a little butter. Yeah.
The breakfast grits.
I'll eat it however it serves me if it serves me well.
This is the part of the interview when you get to shout it out. And what that means is you get to tell us all things about the Shindellas. You get to tell us when the album is dropping. You get to tell us your website, your social media accounts, when and where we can follow you, all things the Shindellas.
Yes. Well, how do we want to start that?
Hi, we're the Shindellas, and we are on the internet.
Everywhere.
You can find us on Instagram at the Shindellas. That's SHINDELLAS. Where else are we?
We're on Twitter. We're on
Facebook.
TikTok.
We're on TikTok at the Shindellas. All of it is at the Shindellas.
Blowing up on TikTok.
Yes. I mean, we're doing our thing.
Are we Cash App at the Shindellas?
Cash App. Add the Shindellas $sign for the S.
Come through.
Yes.
Our website where you can join our mailing list and get the first news on all things Shindellas is theshindellas.com.
And our debut album,
Hits That Stick Like Grits.
We're so close. I also want to highlight the fact that grits, since you mentioned it, it actually stands for something. It's an acronym. And that acronym is Gifts Require Intention and Total Surrender. And that is what Hits That Stick Like Grits is to us and what it has been. So,
It's been our surrender.
yes, it's been our surrender.
Oh.
Casey, Stacy, and Tam, the Shindellas, thank you so much for being here. We
Of course,
appreciate
Having
you.
us.
We appreciate it. Thank you.
Best
Thank
of
you
luck
for
with
supporting us.
everything.
Yeah.
Oh, you're very, very welcome. It is our pleasure. Best of luck with everything.
GrownFolksMusic.com